Yes, Jose.
I would like to ask about the film style. The different choices you have commented on already, the aspect ratio, the monochrome, even the color scenes for me had this classic, if I may use the word, smell. But in the very last scene, in the credit scene, there's a kind of contrastive choice of optics. This camera lens is a kind of a wide angle, which its particular feeling as an unnatural render of image. So I would like to ask about this decision. Why did you choose to close the film with a kind of contrastive take?
はい、これは映画のスタイルについての、その質問になりますが、モノクロで撮ったあるいはスタンダードサイズでっていうふうにに決めた、っていうのは、監督がさっきおっしゃられてた通りですけれども、非常にそのカラーのシーンを拝見していても非常に古典的なクラシックな匂いというかがするんですね。一方で一番最後のシーンは広角レンズといいますか魚眼レンズといいましょうかで撮っていて、これが非常に人工的な、逆に自然とは対極な人工的な感じがするんですけれども、そういうスタイルで締めようと思った意図はどこにあるのでしょうか。
最後の魚眼レンズは、撮影中にちょっと思いついたところはあって、その前のシーンで、お坊さんがあっちへ向かっていくと必ずこっちの方から戻ってくるという、ある種地球のその球体であるというところをちょっと、カメラワークで表現したくて、若者たちが、最後そぞろ歩きするところのその向こうに世界が広がっているというような狙いでした。確かにラストカットだけ人工的だったかもしれません。狙いがあったから。
So, thank you for that question. This was a deliberate choice, of course. It was actually something that the idea came about while we were shooting, while we were photographing. But it really is a way to depict this idea that Kojin, played by Claude Monkey, when he was talking about the world, and you go this way, and then you come back in this direction, and he talks about how the world is a sphere. And this is the exact sentiment that I wanted to capture on camera, so that's why you have it on a wide angle like that. I wanted to bring this sense of these three youngsters that are walking this road here. Where they are walking, an entire world expands, and I wanted to bring that kind of sense to screen.
Yes.
大変感動的な映画でありがとうございました。私も70年前はおわやさん来てくれって言ってですね、何度も言ったことがあります。ただ大変素晴らしかったですね。一つだけちょっと気になることがありまして、それは江戸100万人都市のですね、循環システムっていうのはおそらく産業的にですね成り立っていたと思うんですね。たった2人の青年を取り上げてますけども、おそらくあれは、当時江戸だったら断罪門の支配下でですね、諸教として、それが行われていた、つまり得た否認のクラスがですね、だから長屋には子たちは住めなかっただろうし、ちょっとその辺がですね、最後監督のお話を伺ってですね、視点がそこにあるんだっていう、そのクラスについても視点があるんだっていうことからふとあれだったらこれはっていう気がしたんですが、その点いかがでしょうか。
So this is a question for the director. First of all, thank you for a wonderful, emotional, impactful film. It did, for me as well, bring back memories of back in those days, 70 years ago, when my house was also that kind of toilet, and I do remember the manure men coming around. So it did bring back some memories. My question is about the position or the class in which these manure men would have been situated in. We were talking about a truly ecological society. Although Edo was a big city with a population of 1 million, because it was such a big city, of course, there must have been more than 2 manure men. And also, the class in which they belonged to probably would have had, in Japanese Edo period caste system, they would have been on the very bottom rung, called the etahinin, the non-humans, let's say. And I was puzzled because if you were of that class, you wouldn't even be able to live in a row house. So my question is about that.
まず池松壮亮君が演じた安助というのは劇中で水の百姓だって言ってます。過去このおわい屋さんというのは農家からお百姓さんが直接取りに来てた時代があって、そこにこれがビジネスとして儲かるということで中間業者っていうのができて値が吊り上げられて、その中間業者のようなものが寛一郎を演じた忠治です。で忠治は妹と一緒に暮らしてたって、長屋の顔屋の前で言ってる通り、彼はいろんな職を転々として結果上楠貝よりも実入りのいい下越貝おわい屋さんになったっていうことで、そもそも彼らの出がそういう先民からの出ではなかったっていうふうには設定してます。ただもう町中におわい屋さんがいたわけで、そのどこかでそういう一番意味嫌われる仕事をそういう、最も下層の枝日人が担ってたということはあるかもしれません。で今回の主人公たちはそこというよりは働いてる仕事そのものはもう先民扱いである、もう枝日人の出身とかそういうところから発想したわけではありません。
So these two characters that you see are actually not depicted as the lowest class of people in the caste system. They are not of the eta hini, or the non-humans. The character played by Ikematsu-san, Yasuke, was originally that of the class of a farmer. And how the business ran back in those days in terms of manure was that the farmers would usually directly buy human feces or compost or manure from these manure men. But then because it was sustainable as a business, in came the go-betweens or the wholesalers. And that is the role of Chuji. So Chuji is a person, a go-between, who is in there for the business because it is quite lucrative as a business. And he is depicted as having been living with his younger sister. But he is a type of merchant who was first recycling and selling used paper. But then, since human manure is more lucrative, that's why he's doing that business as well. So in any case, neither Yasuke or Chuji are of the lowest class. However, it was, of course, a city that had an immense population, a huge population, and there must have been, because it is indeed a profession that is probably regarded upon with disdain, there must have been many people of the Edahinin class that would have been engaging in that kind of business, but not particularly our protagonists here.
We are running out of time, so I have to ask a very important question myself, which is about the casting, because you have wonderful cast, of course, all these people talking about pee and poop, it's marvelous. But one of my favorite scenes is Koichi Sato sitting on the crapper, delivering a sort of life lesson to his real-life son, Kanichiro. And I wondered, did you cast them just so you could shoot that scene?
はい、最後に FCCJ から、はい、これ非常に大事な質問ということでどうしてもお聞きしたいそうです。キャスティング今回本当に素晴らしかったと思うんですけれども、こういった方たちが糞尿についてあれこれ話すっていうのはなかなか、見ものというか面白かったのですが、興味深く拝見したのですが、中でもとっても面白いと思ったのが佐藤浩市さんがこう用を足して、実の息子さんである寛一郎さんと、いろいろ人生の教訓的なことを、おっしゃっている これは見事なシーンだと思ったんですけれども、このキャスティングはワンシーンが見たくてああいうキャスティングをされたのでしょうか。
冒頭言いましたようにやっぱりなかなか資金が集まらなくて、でも素晴らしいキャストが次々、この企画に乗ってくれたんですけど、それは今回チーム坂本じゃなくてやっぱりチーム原田だったんですね。今回のキャスト全ての俳優と僕の映画以外のところで何度も、原田は美術を担当して知り合ってる俳優さんだったんです。で原田がやっぱり、声を上げてこういうテーマで江戸のうんちを描くんだって言った時にやっぱそこの信頼関係をもとにして、原田のその企画に乗ったっていうことで集ってくれたっていうのは大きいです。補足はちょっと原田にこの後してもらいます。
So first of all, to talk about the casting, the overall casting, of course, this was a project that it was very difficult to find the funding or it was a difficult project to fund. But strangely enough, one cast member after another joined in, really wanting to join in the project. And I think this was because it was a project not led by Team Sakamoto, but it was led by Team Harada. And Harada-san, having been a production designer on various films, had these wonderful relationships with various actors and actresses. And when he would pitch this project, succinctly put, it is a period piece about the society or this ecological society back in the Edo period. When he would pitch this story to various cast members, everybody, having had a trusting relationship with Harada-san already, they were like, I'm in. And another person would say, I'm in, and so on and so forth. So that's how it all came together. And Mr. Harada is going to explain further.
なんでこの映画は作られるんだろうっていうのが、単純に映画を作りたいっていうだけじゃなくて、なんでこの映画が必要なんだろうっていうところが一番皆さん共感してくれて、だったらやりたいっていうようなことが本当にみんな思ってくれたのと、いろんなところで実はそういう映画を撮ってるのっていうのを噂になってて、そうすると話をするとみんな僕もうんちを運びたい、うんちを運びたいっていうような俳優もいたりして、いやそんなにうんちばっかりみんなよっぽど運びたいんだなっていう、それは別の話なんですけども、やっぱり最大のテーマはやっぱりこの映画は何で作られるんだろうっていうところにみんな共感してくれて、だったらもう映画には長編映画にまだならない時点でもなんとかその活動プロジェクト教育プロジェクトがやろうとしていることに一緒にものを作りたい、映画を作りたいということで皆さん集まってくれたっていう流れです。
The reason why this attracted the cast members that we wanted to attract was because of the motivation behind why we are making this film in the first place. It's not just to make another film. There is something that we really truly want to say with this film. And when I talked about this with various cast members, they immediately empathized and agreed, or empathized with what I had to say. And that's why they had the motivation where they wanted to join in the project. And then gradually, word of mouth began to spread, and other cast members or other actors and actresses would hear about this project, and they would chime in saying, I want to carry poop too. And everybody seemed to want to carry poop, which was funny. But I digress, going back to what the motivation was behind this. I mean, it is really to talk about this ecological society. And that is why so many people agreed with us and agreed with this YOIHI project. Even before we had any plans to make a feature film out of this, or a feature-length film out of this.
I think what you need to do now is make scratch and sniff cards for the theater.
劇場のお土産としてどうでしょう。これアメリカにですね、引っかくと匂いが出るステッカーがあるんですけれども、一つこの映画でもそういうのを作ったらいかがでしょうというご提案です。
それでヒットするのにしますよ。
If it's going to create a massive hit, I will do it.
Okiku in the World is opening this Friday, April 28th. So please make sure that you help get the word out by writing about it, telling all of your friends. that they need to come and see it. Let us thank our, oh yes, and it's opening across Japan, but in Tokyo, the two main theaters are Teatro Shinjuku and Shantae here in Hibiya. So please join me in once again thanking our guests for this wonderful film. And we will now have a brief photo session in the front.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'll someday it'll be a good story.
Cheese.
見ていただいて。
うまいですね。見せるの。うんち。うんち。
どうでしょう。ありがとうございました。はい、ありがとうございました。
Tokyo Borderless TV